After seeing how the natural living skill works in the new Enchanted by Nature pack in The Sims 4, I got really curious on how it would interact with seasons. Could I have a sim live outside off of the natural living skill through every different season? It's a complete experiment I want to try. I can't imagine they would die from temperature because you can wear hot and cold outfits. But now that the pack is out and we can play with cross pack, I thought we would test it out and just see what moodlets we get, what happens, and if our Sims can truly survive living off the land regardless of the season. This may be boring because maybe it will go perfectly fine. And if that's the case, then I guess we're just speed running the natural living skill, but maybe we'll figure something out along the way. We'll see. So I think we'll just make a test sim really quickly, someone to play with. Just to help ourselves out, we'll do Nature Nomad, and we're gonna make them enjoy living outside because we want this to be as successful as possible, but I also want to know if they would die. I am gonna help us along by being a loner. That way our social will affect us just a little bit less, and we'll set ourselves up for success with Cheerful. We will help him out by giving him skills to like. Wow, this is the most buff sim I have ever randomized. I randomized a few times and we got this cute werewolves outfit, which is perfect for the natural living skill. So we're gonna play with Fiona Plumber. I will take the aggressive green makeup off just a little bit. She can have something on. The crying green was just a little alarming. There, sorry I took your makeup from you. And then I really want her to just have a lot of looks that are like this, honestly. And use this as a nice excuse to just test out a couple Enchanted by Nature things. I want that. Honestly, that kind of works. We're not here for Cass. We're here just to get a sim and get going into exploring some gameplay. My goodness. Here's the thing. We might survive just fine, but that's what I'm curious about. Cute. Let's see if we can survive every single season with the natural living skill. I have put down what I call truly haphazard landscaping. The edges not being blended out are really bothering me. Truly haphazard landscaping, and I will be, that's the opposite. I will be cheating my money to $0. And let me just make sure that my seasons are set to 7 days because I was testing out playing with 14-day seasons, and that's gonna make this a lot harder. Okay, we have changed it to 7-day seasons. I have enabled absolutely everything, and it is already raining. The couple different extreme weather scenarios that you can face in The Sims that will give them a bad reaction include heat wave, freezing, thunderstorm, blizzard. So I think we're gonna try and live off the land through each of those, kind of one per season, and see how that weather affects their ability to live comfortably, if it hurts them, if they survive. Because it's great in the fairy world when there's no seasons, but in Brindleton Bay, when things are very aggressive when it comes to the climate, that's a different story. I chose Brindleton Bay to live because every time I play here, it's storming, the weather is just so aggressive, so I think we'll get a really good mix of rain, snow, heat, and hopefully really put all of the seasons to the test. We're really just gonna get to work building this skill. We started in spring because it's such an easy one to begin in, and she's doing fine right now. She's uncomfortable from being wet from the rain, but that's not bad. The spring's probably not going to be a problem. Got some good stuff. Wow, 2 void critters. It's really good. We can forage for some food too. Just kind of want money. We'll plant things. Okay, low hygiene. And then this isn't my first time. Oh, the water's too shallow to bathe in. Hold on. There we go. And then we'll let her bathe. Oh, she was cold. That's interesting, but not problematically so. Let me read it. See, I really want to know if cold will be like cold enough to be a problem. Okay. We have our first issue where she's bathing, and so she's in her bathing suit. and she's freezing to death. Go here. Oh, stop. Stop it. Go here, and then we're gonna have to put an outfit on. She won't die from being grungy, like if she can't bathe, but she will be really unhappy. Then summon a privy bush. Then we can forage for some more food. I don't need friends. It's so nice and gray in Bendleton Bay. Let's do some snacking. Oh, she's so grimy because she needs to forage to eat. I think it's still too cold to bathe. It was so dark today. Okay, what if we bathe just a little bit? Just a little. Okay, she's making it. We're good. Okay, she's cold, but she's not freezing to death just yet. And we made it. Okay, and we are freezing to death again. Wake up. We need to put your outfit on, and then you can sleep. So it's possible in the spring because you just get really cold if you're bathing. Oh, Fiona's outdoor snooze was cut short by bad weather. Sims with higher natural living skill gain resilience to sleep through rain, snow, and extreme temperatures. In the meantime, Fiona will need to rest under shelter or somewhere with milder weather. Very interesting. I like that this is actually a part of the game and she can't sleep because of the natural living skill in the rain. I appreciate that. Let's eat some food and then we might just do more foraging. I'm sorry it's so dark. I really can't stand it. I'm gonna give her outdoor lighting because I want us to at least be able to see her, you know? Maybe we can get some sleep. Nope, still bad. Don't do that because it's gonna make you dirty. And we have to wait for it to stop raining to get sleep. Stop. Oh, I should not have made her like the outdoors. That is so annoying. Ghastly ghostly gnome. I should sell it or I can have a friend. Why do we have to? Oh no. I didn't think about needing to deal with ailments. Ugh. Such something freaky. And I can't forage because of it. Oh goodness. Okay, is it stopped raining? I can't sleep? It's still raining. She's gonna pass out. I can't forage. I can't sleep. You're so annoying. Okay, what if I try and bathe in the water again for a little bit because it's not as cold. It has been one in-day game and I already can't sleep and I can't forage for more food and I began the process of freezing to death twice and I have an ailment. How long do you think it's gonna be until I can sleep again? She's gonna pass out from exhaustion. I don't want to sleep on like a bench or anything. I want to live on the land. This is starting to devolve. And I'm filthy. She will survive the spring. She will not thrive in the spring because she's gonna pass out. Let's try bathing in the water. And there's her energy failure. It's because I can't sleep. Energy failure in the mud pile. Almost like it was intentional. That's crazy. I mean, it would be annoying if she wasn't quite literally already disgusting. Level 5 of natural living. Can I sleep in the rain? Not at level 5. And I'm still really, really cold, but it hasn't killed me yet. No, thank you. And a little bit of cleaning before we pass out again. Talk to nature just a little bit because we need some help with our social. And then we can summon a privy bush. Let's see how much we can get in before we pass out again. I'm so sorry, Fiona. And not much. This is painful. I thought it would just be like somewhat of a nuisance. This is so much more painful. Well, you are in your bathing suit. That is a choice you made. I no longer have the cold moodlet, but bathing in bad weather is cold. It gives you that one, and then uncomfortably wet because it has been raining the entire time. I just need to up the natural living skill. I guess we forage. If we didn't like the outdoors and we weren't a loner, we would truly be like 10 times more miserable. Come on. I touched something slimy. Everything is slimy, and now I can't forage, so I can't get my skill up. This is really hard. Come on, level 6 has to be it. I'm really, really sorry. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Level 6. Wait, it stopped raining. Sleep here. We're not even gonna know. Here we go. Okay. Her natural experiences have conditioned her body to the elements. She's no longer affected by extreme heat or cold and has no problem sleeping or bathing outdoors in rain or snow seasons. I wonder if you could get struck by lightning while you're sleeping. I really want to know. Run inside, run inside. We can't do that. You live outside. They just keep cheating her needs down. I just want to know if it's possible. George, stop it. Oh, my poor bush. So did it wake her up so it could strike her? That scared me. Let's save. I want to know where she thinks she's gonna run inside. Go to sleep again. Okay, I'm gonna keep this low, and if she wakes up autonomously, then it means she's waking up to get struck. I think she's about to get struck. Okay, we have our answer. You can sleep outside in the rain past level 6. If you're living in Brindleton Bay, you need to get on that natural living skill really, really fast. And you can and will be struck by lightning while you are sleeping, but they wake you up to do it. So you have a little warning. And I guess it's nicer to be awake when you're struck by lightning than asleep, but it's still not fun either way. Can you live outdoors in thunderstorms, pouring rain? Yes. It's not fun, but yes, you can survive. I've reset the game a little bit. I made it summer. I've made it a heat wave, and I reset her natural living skill to 0. And I just did a little quick bathing in the water, got her up to a 1. And we're gonna see how a heat wave affects our ability to live off of the land. If we can sleep through the heat, if anything weird's gonna happen. As she's sleeping in this heat, I don't know if this is the same interaction as when she's just normally uncomfortable or if she's hot. She's definitely not comfortable. Oh, and she's finally not charred. So I'm gonna privy bush, and then we'll need hygiene. I need to make sure it stays a heat wave. You know how island living has the feature where you can tan and you can burn if you don't apply lotion beforehand? It would be cool if these like worked together and you burned if you didn't apply lotion while running around in a super sunny heat wave day. Nothing else will I cheat, but we're doing this because I am testing the weather. I might call summer a fine experiment because you're just gonna be hot and uncomfortable, you know? Natural living skills already a 4. If we get to 5 before something bad happening due to the heat wave, I think we can call summer heat confirmed. You can survive just fine. We've reached level 5. We've had like no bad moodlets from the heat wave. So I'm gonna say summer experiment, perfectly fine. You can live off the land in extreme heat. You're not happy about it, but much more successfully than spring thunderstorms. I've kind of pseudo reset us again, back to 0 for natural living, fall, and in the fall we're going to explore if we can survive freezing cold temperatures. Let's come bathe. It's freezing and sunny. If it's sunny and freezing, I don't know if it's really gonna do much, but we'll try and bump the natural living skill up as much as we can before nighttime. Oh, that's a complete lie. We are still freezing to death. Okay. Stop. I haven't saved in a minute. Oh, stop. So this is similar to what we were experiencing. Stop. This is similar to what we were experiencing before. We were trying to bathe in the spring and it was still cold. It makes it hard to bathe because you bathe a little bit, you freeze to death. So you have to go in and out. Stop going in the water. This and her outfit making me really, really wish that it was fall. I'm trying to be better at not wishing parts of my life away, especially because I'm such a big fall and winter person and I don't really like the summer. But it's hard when you get home from work and it's 90 degrees and so humid your pants are sticking to you. Oh, My fingers are too freezing from foraging. Foraging in freezing weather has left Fiona's fingers cold and raw. She needs to let, that should be capitalized. She needs to let her hands warm back up before she can forage again. So if you don't have enough stuff stocked up, the freezing cold can be a problem for your foraging. I was wondering if freezing ground would be a problem with foraging, like how you can't plant when it's freezing. So that's good to know. That does make it harder to grow the natural living skill because all we can really do is pee and sleep and bathe for like 3 minutes. I'm curious to see how tonight, okay, enough. I'm curious to see how tonight goes. Oh, here, get out of the water. Can we forage again? We can forage again. So the frozen fingers, it doesn't last a long time, which is really good to know. We're gonna have to go in and out, so let's just get it over with now. That's like a third. Okay, a third, and then she starts freezing. I am a scientist, truly, actually. I have a chemistry degree and a master's degree in the environmental field. And so I kind of like playing The Sims this way because it makes my brain happy trying to run different experiments. And why'd you stop eating and interrupt me? Trying to run different experiments and see what causes what effects and just how everything functions together. This is fun. I think it stopped freezing. Back to freezing. Ooh, here we go. It's too cold for Fiona to bathe out here. Sims with the higher natural living skill will acclimate to bathing in extreme weather. For now, she'll need to clean up warmer. So similar to before, when it was thunderstorming, we couldn't bathe anymore. Now when it's freezing, we just simply can't bathe. We'll have to deal with being uncomfortable. It's annoying you can't bathe, but you can still go splash around in the water. Oh, here we go. Another foraging in the cold. So we cannot bathe while the water is frozen. We cannot forage while our fingers are frozen. The only thing we can do to give our natural living skill up right now is to pee in a pretty bush and sleep. So I might just go to sleep. And I can't sleep because it's too cold. So once again, I'm stuck. Well, I feel like we've seen a lot of the interactions. We're not going to be able to sleep. So I think let's cheat natural living to 6. See if it lets us bathe and sleep. Sleep here. Better dirt, hot or cold, it's all the same. She's perfectly fine. And then let's see her. Okay, so the water's frozen. You can bathe in cold water, but you still can't bathe when the water's frozen. So that makes things a little harder if you're playing natural living in like the cold weather. I think we have a good answer here. Fall, freezing cold temperatures, you can live, but your ability to do things is even less than the thunderstorms and the hot weather. You have some trouble foraging when you're too cold, and when water's frozen, you obviously can't bathe. So it's a bit difficult. The final one I want to test out is what natural living is like in blizzards. She was literally just standing in the water, even though it's frozen. Oh yeah, that doesn't look very frozen to me. I've cheated it to be winter. I've cheated it to be a blizzard, and I've cheated her natural living back down to 0. To be nice, I bumped her hygiene all the way up because I have a feeling we're never going to be clean again. So let's just give her a starting point. Let's see if we can possibly get our natural living skill up. We obviously can't sleep right off the bat. We can't bathe right off the bat. We can maybe forage, but I have a feeling our fingers are going to be even colder than before. So let's see if we get any different reactions. I mean, look at her. I don't think we're going to be able to do anything. Carrot, I'm surprised that we haven't had an issue with frozen fingers yet. I want to get up to level 2 and just make sure that the blizzard doesn't affect summoning a pretty bush. I appreciate you hanging out with me as I do this experiment because I was really curious and I had to know. I had to know the answers. What level can you finally start doing things again? Is there a chance that I can be sleeping outside and it blizzards and I just completely freeze over? Didn't think so because our weather outfits stop us from dying outside, but I wanted to know if there was a chance of her just sleeping on the ground and freezing to death. She hasn't gotten the frozen fingers yet, and she's been digging through blizzardy snow. Just making sure we still can't bathe, we still can't sleep. I want to do a little more foraging while I make it a blizzard again and just see if there's any other interactions. And we're passed out. I think it might be worth it to call it here. Living outside in a blizzard, yes, you can. And honestly, it seems slightly easier than living outside in the freezing cold. No, this wasn't a let's play. This was literally, like I'm saying, an experiment in how the natural living skill works with seasons. But here are our results. In the spring, we tried to live outside with thunderstorms. You can't sleep or bathe outside during thunderstorms until you have level 6 of the natural living skill, but you can forage, you can use the privy bush. Obviously, you can build your skill with those, but it goes pretty slow because you keep passing out and waking back up without being able to rest. In the summer, we tried the extreme heat and it really didn't do anything. It makes you slightly uncomfortable, but you can bathe just fine, forage just fine, sleep just fine. Obviously, the further you get, the better you are at things. In the fall, we tried extreme freezing temperatures, and you could not bathe because the water froze over. You could not sleep until you got level 6 of the natural living skill. And I got a lot of moodlets as I was foraging. Every couple of items or so that I would have frozen fingers, and it would stop me from foraging for a bit. So if you're really, really early on and didn't have stuff planted already like I did, or stuff in your backpack, then you would have a little bit of a harder time feeding yourself, but it's not frequent enough and it doesn't stay long enough that it will risk you starving, most likely. And then in the winter, we tried living outside naturally in blizzard conditions, and honestly, it was easier than the freezing cold. The same things went. You couldn't bathe in the water and you can't sleep on the ground till level 6, but I did not get a single frozen finger moodlet in the blizzard, which I would have thought would be worse because you're digging through snow, but who knows? I would say in order of hardest to easiest, extreme weather, natural living, we have freezing cold temperatures at hardest, then thunderstorms, then blizzards, and then extreme heat, which doesn't really do anything. I will say the one fun thing, if you're sleeping outside in thunderstorms, you are subject to lightning strikes. We got struck by lightning twice. It will wake you up and hit you by lightning whenever it wants. So you're not immune. I don't think the lightning strikes makes it harder than living with the frozen fingers because that affects your ability to eat, but boy, does it kill your hygiene and make your sim feel dazed. So it's a bit of a toss-up on which one's harder. Thank you so much for just sitting here while I tested this out. It was really fun. Cross-pack compatibility like this is some of my favorite stuff. I love when packs interact and talk with each other and see how they affect each other, because that's when it feels like developers put a little bit more love into the game, when they go back and they connect things. This was fun, and I look forward to hanging out with you more next time. Bye!